Rear Talk. Talking in the rear, from the rear, speaking out of the rear without being judged. You've heard the expression, speaking out of your ass. In other words, this podcast talks about anything and everything. Buckle up, get ready. We're going to have some fun. Finally, an uncut, uncensored, real, raw podcast. No matter what the topic, we'll cover it.
Without hesitating.
Welcome to Rear Talk. Here's your host, Traé.
Welcome to the show. This is Traé, your host, and today, guys, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't be holding back your sex drive with your partner. So we're going to talk about the fact that you should have told her everything and why you shouldn't hold back. Are you ready for this? Welcome to the show, guys. Glad you're here. So today we're going to talk about why you shouldn't hold back your sex drive with your partner. So let me make this perfectly clear. Number one, what I'm saying when I say you shouldn't hold back, I'm not saying after listening to this podcast, you go home and you just go break your partner's back. That's not what I'm saying. Well, we'll get to that. But what I'm trying to say is before you guys get together, or at least before you guys get involved physically, you should let her know things that you like, things that you don't do, things that you appreciate, or things that you like to do. And then once you get to the level where you guys having sex and you guys really enjoying each other physically, then you shouldn't hold back. So that'll be two topics we'll talk about. Number one is, like I said, you should actually make it clear to a partner things that you like. And these are some of the mistakes I made. So I want to make sure I tell you where that took me at and things that you should actually do in order not to be in the same place I am right now or I've been. So number one, like I say, tell your partner what you like when it comes to sex. It's very important that there is a sense of communication. So as much as you guys discuss financial and you talked about money and, kids and how you guys planning your future, and you discuss basically what kind of job you want to have, what kind of house you guys plan to buy, what kind of, what kind of retirement you guys working on and how much money you have. So when you covered all those bases, it's very important. We talk also about the sex part. And a lot of a lot of married couples see that more as it's a topic we kind of, we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, or we'll figure it out. No, you need to figure it out right now, because sometimes everybody's appetite is different. Me personally, I have a big appetite when it comes to sex. And you want someone actually that can, if you want, match your level, or at least can level up with you. It's very important that you do have that conversation in order to either help your partner get to your appetite, or at least, get to your partner level on some degrees where you guys still have that compatible relationship and it doesn't become a problem later down the road. Because if you're really hungry when it comes to sex and your partner is more like, let's say, a vegan eater in that area, then, it's important that some days you try to convince her that, hey, it's not a bad thing if you were to just switch them outside a little bit, eat a little more of a vegan food. I want your stomach to be a little more fuller. But if you just let her be vegan when it comes to sex and you are actually eating meats and potatoes and all this stuff, then we got a problem already in terms of, your appetite, because now you're going to stay hungry. Okay. My point is you have to level up. You guys have to talk. So telling your female or your wife or your fiance or your significant other about your sex appetite is very important, because it avoids a lot of trouble down the road. Number one trouble would be you will not get the sex that you're looking for. If you don't discuss that in the beginning, and let's say you are the one who has the big appetite, you will not get what you want. Because again, these are kind of news to her or him, because it's like, okay, well, when I met you, we talked about everything and everything was great. We were having a great time. Our relationship was where it's supposed to be. Now you want me to do all that, and you want me to have sex with you in many places, and you want me to just, drop what I'm doing whenever you ask and just go for it. And you want me to do in so many, weird places, strange places, and you want me to do it this way. I'm not used to that. I wasn't raised this way, and I don't believe in things like that, and I don't want to get hurt. So all that closed-minded and rejection or restriction or resistance comes from not discussing it in the first place. So me personally, like I said, I have a big appetite. So that was one of the discussion I had, with my significant other when it came to that. It doesn't have to be something so formal and needs to be on paper. I'm not speaking of signing a contract or something, but if you don't discuss that, it becomes a problem, because the day you want to branch out, for example, you want to try new things, then she or he would be opposed to it, because again, it's going outside of something he or she is not used to. So it's very important you discuss that from the beginning. Talk about fantasies you have. Talk about things that you would like to try one day. Talk about things that you've tried but you didn't like, or you liked, or you love to try with her or with him. It is really important that the sexuality within couples is really an open door when it comes to discussing it. I am so comfortable with my sexuality. I can tell you, I can talk to you about sex all day long or anything like that. It's just, if you're comfortable with your sexuality, you don't have a problem looking at yourself in the mirror, and you can talk about things that really please you, or things that you love to do, or things you've done. It's got nothing to do with broadcasting it, nothing to do with being, bragging about it, anything like that. It's more like, look, I'm comfortable talking about anal sex. I'm comfortable discussing, how we need to actually practice anal sex, or how we should go about it, and what kind of lube you like, or last time we had sex, what did you like? Did you like me licking you here? Things like that. I can talk about all day with my partner, and I don't have a problem talking about it. But you got to be able to get to that point where sex is just a conversation. It's intimate, of course. We don't want that to be anything insignificant, but we want it also to be something that's not so formalized, to the point where it's like, okay, we need to schedule a meeting today at 7 p.m. and talk about sex and how we're going to do this. So back to my point, it is really important that you discuss your drive with your partner, because if you don't, that's going to lead to some problem, and eventually those problems can cause you guys to split. So tell her or tell him things that you like. Discuss that. Things that you've heard about, or things that you've read, or things that you've seen in movies that you want to try. Things that you're not comfortable with. Things that you feel is disgusting, is gross, or things that you feel it's painful, or things that you feel like, you don't want to do it, period. No matter what your reason is, you don't have to say it, but it's really important you discuss that. And when y'all discuss it, be open-minded in regards to trying it. Again, don't judge the book by its color. If, for example, I don't want to do doggy style because, I feel like it's diminishing and you standing behind me, and, and I feel like, I'm belittled, blah, 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 whatever. You need to discuss that and kind of see where he come from, or where she come from when she expressed that opinion. And you got to be open-minded about accepting each other's opinion. Accepting your opinion doesn't mean I agree with what you say, but I'd give you the benefit of the doubt. I give you enough respect to listen to you. Let my ears hear what you're saying, and I can still disagree. But at least I give you a chance to develop your opinion and let me hear it. So discuss what it is, the boundaries, what you guys want to do, things that you want to try, and things that you're not comfortable discussing. And if you need to see a sex therapist for that too, do it. Because sometimes when it comes to sex, people are sometimes mentally blocked also. It's got a lot to do with how they grew up. And it's got a lot to do also with things that they went through. And it's got a lot to do with things that they heard about, the myth, the rumors, the confusion between friends spreading rumors about things that they tried, they did, or just ignorance in general. So it is important to do your research and really discuss it more as a topic that, look, what we're doing is between you and I. And it's got nothing to do with anybody. Let me give you an example. If you want to eat your woman's ass, or you want to practice anal sex, that is something you do your research of how to go about it. Okay? There are some cleaning steps, for example, that needs to take place. And discuss with her that this is something you want to do. I would approach her with just a conversation, just on a Friday night or Saturday or whatever the day is. We're watching Netflix or having a good time and, really in a good mood or whatever, and discuss that. Oh, you could be in the car while we're talking. Hey, babe, I'd like to try, to eat your butt. And she may be like, what? Why would you do that? It's gross, blah, blah, blah. Hear me out. What I'm saying is, it is something that I think would please you, first of all, and I think it'll please me. I'm past the gross part. Yeah, we all know poop comes from there. But again, baby, I love you. And I know you clean as far as I can tell, and as far as I've been down there, and I've been actually in your vagina before. So therefore, it's not much of a big deal for me. And I really want to try this, babe. And she may be opposed to it, and that's okay. First conversation, she's just not going to say, yeah, let's do anal, let's do this, let's do all that. I'm all wide open for it. No, sometimes it takes several conversations to get her to be there. And you have to be patient, and you have to understand that for you, certain things you can just make a decision in a split of second. It takes some people 2-3 days a week. Because again, if you are used to a certain lifestyle, you can't expect me to just move to that lifestyle in a matter of 10 seconds. Sometimes it takes me time to process it, time to see what's in for me, time to see basically what's the risk or energy, benefit, anything that's associated with whatever you're asking. So it is okay to be patient. You're not going to do it anyway. You guys in the car and y'all going to work. So what's the rush? Let her think about it. So, and then the most important part is also getting her to feel comfortable about it. It's not something she owes you. Sometimes people play the guilt thing and say, well, I'm your boyfriend, I'm your husband, and I can't understand why you wouldn't let me, do that. Well, it doesn't really work that way. This is not, if you want a transaction, it doesn't work like you owe me some money. I don't understand why you can't give me the money I'm entitled to because I loaned you that money. That's a different story. That's a transaction. Someone owes you something, especially of monetary value. Yeah, they owe you that thing back. That's just how it is. Look, I need to think about it. We want to do anal sex, so let me prep my mind and mentally get ready for it. That's ridiculous if you get mad at it. Anyway, my point is, it is something that needs to be discussed, and then tell her during the discussion also, or tell him as you guys talk, how much or how many times you want to have sex. It's very important you discuss how often you want to practice. A lot of time, people don't discuss that because they're afraid to be judged. And I think it's one of the very, very, very foundation of a relationship. If you're going to be like my significant other told me, if you want to be dipping me and rubbing and flipping me and all that, I need to know that ahead of time so I can stretch and I can get myself ready. So for those of you out there who are more sexually active and you want more from your partner, it's something to discuss. And it's something to make him or her comfortable with the fact that, 2-3 times or 4 times, whatever the case may be, And sometimes when your appetite is bigger than your partner, there are other ways also you can satisfy yourself. I'm not asking you to cheat, but you can definitely get that lube over there and have that personal time. I call that personal time with myself. Or you can just say my solitary time with myself. It's kind of a repetition. Solitary, myself. It's kind of the same meaning, but it sounds great in my ears, so I call it that way. And, there's no need for you to go find another woman to satisfy your appetite. But the point is, you have to get to that point where you both are engaged into understanding and really want to make it work for both of you guys. So that was the point one. And point two, like I said, is about, so the sex drive other part is also being able to discuss, want to try new things. Don't be so focused on the missionary. Don't be so focused on doing the same thing over and over again. Everybody likes a little bit of, mix and match, and like a little bit of, if it's into threesomes, and you feel comfortable with that, then give him a threesome or give her a threesome. If he's into, bondage and things like that, or she's into bondage, well, see what is the safest way to do it. If she's into sex outside, or she's into sex, in a car, or she's into sex in wild places and strange and, spontaneous places or spontaneous moments, then look into it and see if you can at least meet her halfway or meet him halfway. It's really important that your sex drive matches, the situation too as well. Like, for example, we can't be at a wedding and I'm sitting right there, standing next to the grooms and everything, and you want to have sex. That don't make no sense. At least right there, we can't. Give me the 10, 15 minutes so I can finish this ceremony, and then, I'm going to go and break your back. But I guess you get my point. My point is, sex is great, guys. Sexuality is awesome. Discuss it. Match your sex drive. Don't be ashamed to talk about it. Sex is beautiful. Don't hold back your sex drive with your partner.
You've been listening to Rear Talk. If we feel like talking about it, we talk about it.
We talk about it.
It's kind of like eavesdropping on a private conversation, but not so private. We hope you enjoyed the show. We know we had fun. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more. Check out the website at www.reartalk.com and contact us through email at businesstubeline@gmail.com. Till next time, this is Rear Talk, signing off.